Flintlock is a general term for any firearm that uses a flint striking ignition mechanism. The term may also apply to a particular form of the mechanism itself, also known as the true flintlock, that was introduced in the early 17th century, and rapidly replaced earlier firearm ignition technologies, such as the matchlock, the wheellock, and the earlier flintlock mechanisms. The true flintlock continued to be in common use for over 2 centuries, replaced by percussion cap and, later, the cartridge-based systems in the early to mid-19th century. Although long superseded by modern firearms, flintlock weapons enjoy continuing popularity with black powder shooting enthusiasts. French court gunsmith Marin Le Bourgeois made a firearm incorporating a flintlock mechanism for King Louis XIII shortly after his accession to the throne in 1610. However, firearms using some form of flint ignition mechanism had already been in use for over half a century. The development of firearm lock mechanisms had proceeded from the matchlock to wheellock to the earlier flintlocks, snaplock, snaffance, miquelot, and doglock, in the previous 2 centuries, and each type had been an improvement, contributing design features to later firearms which were useful. Le Bourgeois fitted these various features together to create what became known as the flintlock or true flintlock. The new flintlock system quickly became popular, and was known and used in various forms throughout Europe by 1630, although older flintlock systems continued to be used for some time. Examples of early flintlock muskets can be seen in a painting Marie de Medici as Bellona by Rubens, painted around 1622–25. Various breech-loading flintlocks were developed starting around 1650. The most popular action has a barrel which was unscrewed from the rest of the gun. Obviously this is more practical on pistols because of the shorter barrel length. This type is known as a Queen Anne pistol because it was during her reign that it became popular, although it was actually introduced in the reign of King William III. Another type has a removable screw plug set into the side or top or bottom of the barrel. A large number of sporting rifles were made with this system, as it allowed easier loading compared with muzzle loading with a tight-fitting bullet and patch. One of the more successful was the system built by Isaac de la Chalmette starting in 1704. The barrel could be opened by 3 revolutions of the trigger guard, to which it was attached. The plug stayed attached to the barrel and the ball and powder were loaded from the top. This system was improved in the 1770s by Colonel Patrick Ferguson and 100 experimental rifles used in the American Revolutionary War. The only 2 flintlock breech loaders to be produced in quantity were the Hall and the Crespi. The first was invented by John Hall and patented c. 1817. It was issued to the U.S. Army as the Model 1819 Hall breech-loading rifle. The Hall rifles and carbines were loaded using a combustible paper cartridge inserted into the upward-tilting breech block. Hall rifles leaked gas from the often poorly fitted action. The same problem affected the muskets produced by Giuseppe Crespi and adopted by the Austrian army in 1771. Nonetheless, the Crespi system was experimented with by the British during the Napoleonic Wars, and percussion Hall's guns saw service in the American Civil War. Flintlock weapons were commonly used until the mid-19th century, when they were replaced by percussion lock systems. Even though they have long been considered obsolete, flintlock weapons continue to be produced today by manufacturers such as Pedersely, Euro-Arms, and Army Sport. Not only are these weapons used by modern reenactors, but they are also used for hunting, as many U.S. states have dedicated hunting seasons for black powder weapons, which includes both flintlock and percussion lock weapons.